Can you smell that? The air is fresh. The grass is super green. Football is back. Finally. Finally. I say finally. Didn't feel like that long of a break, did it? But more importantly, Fantasy Premier League is back. Pre-season's come and gone. Happened so quickly. All the planning, all the meticulous transfer strategy, chip strategy, everything you got going on finally has hit a deadline, and game week 1 has come and gone. Well, there's still one game to go. Still Everton and Leeds for game week 1. But as for the rest of the round, that has come and gone. And look, my game week 1, as I just look it up here, you can see it on the screen right here. 54 points, game week 1. Not bad. Not bad. You could always do better. But the first couple of weeks of Fantasy Premier League, I'm always trying not to lose more than trying to gain an advantage to get into the top, 10k, 1k, whatever the goal might be. But it's a decent start, 54 points. There was a lot of 50-50s that did go my way that I'm very happy with. One of them being Reinders from City. He looks to be a gem. 5.5 in the midfield for City. He looks good. The ultimate question with Reinders though is he going to be starting week in, week out for City? Answer's probably going to be no. But I don't think he needs to at that price point. I don't think he needs to play every single game. But if he does play every single game at 5.5, he's been massively underpriced, and he looks to be a gem. For me, massive talking point was Mohamed Salah. Do I go with Mo? Do I go without Mo? Do I go Haaland? Do I go without Haaland? Eventually, I decided to stick with Mo. I just think the upside's there. If I choose not to go with Mo and he kills it, and I don't have a team that has Haaland or him, he's going to be very, very, very difficult to bring in without playing a wild card. And I don't really want to play my wild card early this year, just the way the fixtures have panned out. So my strategy was to go with Mo, and if he's not looking at the races, jump off. And I tell you what, for 90 minutes there, he didn't look like he was at the races. But Mo Salah being Mo Salah, in typical Mo Salah fashion, buried one in the old onion bag. What was it, the 94th minute? Ended up nicking 8 points. Captain 16. Like, talk about a get out of jail free card. He has delivered that and more, son. So, not bad for the first game week. Bournemouth at home. Alright, let's start with Sanchez. I had Sells in my team all pre-season. I was so convinced to go Sells over Sanchez. Wanted to go against the run of play. But at the last minute, I don't know what came over me. I wanted a Chelsea defensive player in the team. Colwell going down with the ACL, couldn't afford Cucurella. I wanted something in that Chelsea defense, and just at that 5.0 price point, I couldn't really go past Sanchez really, because I've already got Nico Williams in defence, and I didn't want to double up on Forest. So I got lucky there. It's still early days. I'm talking about game week 1. He got the clean sheet and he got the save bonus as well, 7 points. So I'm quite happy with Robert Sanchez there. Also, Anderson from Fulham. Look, my opinion, there's a lot of options at 4.5, and it's a lot of hit and miss whether to get the right one. Or you're only going to know that as time comes on. But I know he's reliable. I know he's going to be good for DEFCON points. I know he's going to be sliding week in, week out. The ex-Palace defender. I can rely on Anderson, Joachim Anderson. And you know what you're going to get out of a Fulham side. So hopefully, Fulham, like their underlying stats last year were really good defensively. And if they could continue that this season, it could be a great pick. But still early days yet for Joachim Anderson. I went Pedro Porro. Love the way Pedro attacks the ball. Love the way he looks going forward. Got a clean sheet. He got an assist in the Super Cup against PSG, didn't he? And I think I wanted to target Tottenham's fixtures for the opening, let's just say 6 to 8 weeks. Everything I say here, by the way, I've based on planning for the first 8 to 10 game weeks and nothing really beyond that, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, things could come up, things can change, and if you're planning beyond that point, it comes a point of diminishing returns, in my opinion, because things can change. Just got a notification on my phone that it's going to start raining soon. It doesn't look it. Better make this quick, eh? So yeah, that's my defense. Sanchez, Anderson, Nico Williams. Look, Nico Williams, disappointing 1 point. Nottingham Forest conceding a late goal right at the end there against Brentford. Tell you what, Brentford, they look in all sorts. They look like a team to target for chip strategy and captains. Brentford look in all sorts. They did score a penalty. Thiago's on pens. That's interesting. 6 million, paid big money for Brentford, paid big money for Thiago last year. He's on pens. I didn't really watch the game. I seen highlights. I seen Chris Wood, mate, 7.5. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Chris Wood. Again, I didn't go with Chris Wood. We'll get to my strikers in a second. Palmer. So I'll read out my midfield. Palmer, Mo Salah, Bruno Fernandes, Reinders, Morgan Rogers. Cole Palmer, man. He was the first when FPL got released this year. Cole Palmer was the first person I put on my in my first draft, and he did not leave my team all pre-season. He just, look, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of it was hype from the Club World Cup. Not that I watched much of the Club World Cup, but man, when you see that final and you see the way what he did to PSG, I just think this kid's destined for great things. And I think Maresca can get the best out of him. Chelsea are going to be having a much better season. And I just thought 2 and 2 equals Cole Palmer points. But it wasn't meant to be. Look, I didn't watch the whole... Actually, I did watch the whole Palace game. I was going to say I didn't watch the whole... Yeah, no, that's a lie. I definitely watched it. He was a bit deep. He was a bit non-existent. And to be honest, it was very Cole Palmer from the end of last season. It didn't really look good. Chelsea didn't look at the races. I tell you what, Crystal Palace, unlucky not to come away with the 3 points there. Eze ripped off of a goal, should have been counted, but VAR is a mess. Honestly, like, what are we doing? Is this a contact sport? You can't stay in the wall there? What are we doing here? Do we really want this in the game? Anyways, I'm going on one here. Cole Palmer. Look, that's a wait and see. I ain't transferring this week as well, by the way. Mo Salah, like I said, got away with one there. Bruno Fernandes. Look, tell you what, Manchester United looked very, very good against Arsenal, but unfortunately didn't come away with the chocolates. Bruno, although could seem quite frustrating because he played very, very, very deep. Tell you what, he had a lot of the ball. I tell you what, if a couple of those chances came off to Mbeumo and Cunha, on another day Bruno Fernandes could have been sitting here with some assists. I think they'll come for Bruno. I think they'll come. Manchester United look a lot better. Bruno's going to create a lot more chances this season, which he already got 19 goals and 19 assists for a team that scored 44 goals last season. Like, Bruno's all over this. So I think this year United are playing much better, scoring more goals, creating more chances. I think Bruno will come. So I'm not really worried about Bruno. Ryan Des, 5.5, great pick. Look, very lucky to start with him. If I didn't have him, I would be looking to get him in. Maybe not straight away if you haven't got him. You don't need to rush. I know it might feel this week you might need to bring him in, but don't rush. He might be dropped next week. Give it a week. Unless you've got someone else definitely not playing, that's going to cause issue. But I wouldn't rush that. And my other pick was the bit of an outlier, was Morgan Rogers, because a lot of people weren't going with him because he picked up that knock at the end of pre-season, missed the last game for Villa. But I kind of knew if he was going to start, if he was going to play, he could be a unique pick that not many people are picking. And I rate Morgan Rogers so highly. I think this kid's going to be the next superstar in the Premier League. He's got massive potential for scoring goals, got massive potential for fantasy points. And another day, Aston Villa, they could have picked up something against Newcastle there. Newcastle looked good defensively. Villa, going forward, they looked a bit out of sorts. They looked like they weren't at the races. And that's to be expected at the start of the season. Teams aren't really challenged straight away. And I think Morgan Rogers, good things to come. Villa got very good fixtures. Same with Ollie Watkins. Let's talk about my strikers now. I've got Ollie Watkins. Villa this week. Who have they got next week, in fact? They got Brentford. What did I tell you before about targeting teams? Brentford. Holy smoke. So yeah, Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rogers next week against Brentford could be huge. Is he on pens? I wish Villa got a penalty. I'd love to know who's on pens. Probably Tielemans. But yeah, I think Villa's opening fixtures for the first, 9 game weeks look really, really good. So yeah, Morgan Rogers 2 points. Not really that pleased with that. It is what it is. And I started with João Pedro as well. Again, that was another one that was a bit of a punt. Look, he's not on pens this year. He's not at Brighton. He's got Delap, about to say Rory Delap, behind him. Liam Delap breathing down his neck. 77. I think he got 77 minutes or 7 minutes. Dogs run all over the park here. Alright, sorry mate. You got 72 minutes, not 77 minutes. That's not bad. That's not bad. But he didn't play that good. I watched the game. He wasn't really influential. Wasn't really doing much. Didn't really create many chances. It's a little bit concerning. Especially if Chelsea bring in some strikers before the end of the season. And yeah, my bench. We got Mark Gueyu from Sunderland. Oh, Sunderland. Mate, what a game that was. And they actually look good, Sunderland. They actually look good. Or did West Ham just look shit? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell who looked good and who looked shit. But yeah. Patrick Dorgu, he looked good yesterday against Arsenal. Patrick, he looked really good. Look, I wasn't expecting a clean sheet or nothing, but I knew he would start on the left for United. I did have a feeling he would get forward and create some chances, and he did that in abundance. And Burnley, game week 3, he looks like he's going to be getting a start in my team. And then Esteve, Steve, aka Burnley. Yeah, just making up the numbers really. And Dubravka started, but unfortunately Burnley getting done. But yeah, overall, 54 points with 1 game to go. And being the average is 51, I'm on 54, 1 game to go. I'm sitting at about a game week rank of 3.7 million. So, by the way, if you've made it this far, my name is Kurt. Nice to meet you. I love FPL, and this is a brand new channel, and I wanted to make some FPL content. I wanted to do a little bit different. I'm not all about stats and XG. Look, I am. I'd be lying to you if I said to you that I don't look at it. I do have a gaze, yeah? A little wonder, as you will. But I'm not all about the stats. I'm all about the vision. Watching the games. I watch a lot of the football. And if I can't watch the games, I'll definitely watch highlights. But I'm also about the feeling. I'm also about everything else in between the games as well. So yeah, not just stats and numbers and computers and boring shit. Man, it's the love of the game. It's the feeling. You gotta anticipate what's gonna come next. That's what I love about FPL. It's more than a game. It's a feeling. I fucking love it. FPL is back. But yeah. Anyways, nice to meet you. Game week 1 in the books. I'm actually really enjoyed making this video. If you liked the video, let us know, and I'll make some more. Anyways, I'll catch you on the next one.